Hi, Wes Lee here, and welcome to the Mesonet Weather Report. We got a little taste of winter early this past week as temperatures were much cooler than expected for this time of year. The state spent a few days struggling to see highs get out of the 40s. This map was the highs for Wednesday as of mid-afternoon. The cold weather was pretty short-lived, as it often is in the fall. High temperatures are expected to be back into the 70s and much warmer than normal by the weekend, as seen by these forecasted highs for Sunday. Next week should remain warm too, at least for fall standards, as shown by this forecast map. The oranges and reds show a strong likelihood of above normal temperatures. Rainfall this past week ranged from nothing in the Panhandle to several inches in the Northeast. The highest totals were in Ottawa, Delaware, and Adair counties. This has the state's soil moisture maps looking pretty good in the east. The dark green color indicates a near 100% plant available water on this 4-inch map. Unfortunately, the drier parts of the state in the far west and especially in the Panhandle remain dry. Next week's prospects in the west don't look too promising either, as seen on this precipitation forecast map. Gary is up next, showing some improvements in the east on the drought monitor.
Thanks, Wes. Good morning, everyone. Well, another good rainfall, as Wes showed you, and we are starting to rack up the moisture for the fall. What's that done to the drought monitor map? Let's take a look. Well, we've definitely improved over across the eastern half of the state. Just a few areas of moderate to severe drought scattered about, especially up in the northeastern and north central part of the state. Pawnee and Osage County centered in that area. A little bit down in the far southeast. And then, of course, we have the drier conditions out across western Oklahoma, some severe to extreme drought up in the far northwest and in the western Panhandle. Well, here's the culprit for the improvements. We see lots of good rainfall across the eastern parts of the state. Not as much down in the far southeast and south central parts of the state. It does start to diminish rapidly as we get to the western portions of Oklahoma, especially the southwestern parts of the state. Let's take a look at the departure from normal for the last 30 days. Well, again, we see those deficits across the western half and south central Oklahoma, and again in the far southeast. But we see the good amounts, the good surplus amounts of moisture across the east central and northeastern parts of the state. It's not necessarily a wet time of the year, however, so how does that rack up to percent of normal for over the last 30 days? Again, across the eastern half of the state, we do see those good surplus amounts up above 200% of normal across east central Oklahoma, above 150% of normal across much of the eastern half of the state. Then we get out across western Oklahoma and we get less than 50% of normal, a few areas scattered about with surplus. Okay, the monthly drought outlook just released from the Climate Prediction Center for November. They show no drought developing across the eastern third of the state, but drought development is likely across the western 2/3. I'm pretty optimistic for the upcoming couple of months because I do see a good start over the last 7 to 30 days. So if we just need a little bit more and start to stamp out a little bit more of that drought. That's it for this time. We'll see you next time on the Mesonet Weather Report.